I don't even know why I'm posting this, but I really felt the Lord tell me that I just needed to get on here and talk about this a little bit. There's a video that I recorded on September 7th that I hadn't posted. It had been on my drafts, and I literally just posted it so that you can go and see. But I left it on my drafts because I was like, oh, I don't think anybody needs to hear this. I don't think it's important, but I kind of wanted it for myself. So for years, I've had this dream, and I kind of just put it on the back burner. It was never the time. It was never happening. I had other things going on. I always felt like doors were closed, and I just felt like it wasn't my time. And then eventually I kind of gave up on that dream, and I thought, well, you know what? That wasn't for me. And I mean years, like 8+ years that I've had this vision or this thought, and I mean, doors were closed. So why would I continue to pursue it? But several months ago, I felt like God just brought back this dream and like put it back in my heart. And all of a sudden, all of these doors were opening and things were going so smoothly. And I kept praying, like, God, if this is you, like, continue to make a way. Like, I don't want it if it's not with you and if you're not leading the way. And over the past year, I've been really working on having this relationship with the Lord, and I had been living lukewarm for many years, and I really just wanted to do things differently and be obedient more than anything. And what's crazy is that I've been on this journey of like reading the Bible, and I started in the New Testament, and I had almost completed the New Testament, and I felt this pull to switch and to start Genesis. And I kind of ignored it at first, and then that thought kept coming up, like, stop reading this and go to Genesis. And I didn't really know why this was happening, but I was like, okay, like, I will start reading Genesis. In the meantime, all of these doors were opening. Things were like being expedited. Things that I didn't even expect were like happening. And I was like, okay, God, this is you. Like, continue to be faithful and be obedient. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. And all of a sudden we hit this obstacle and things just kind of like stop and get delayed. And I'm like, what's going on, God? But then as I'm reading Genesis and I'm reading the story of Abraham and Sarah, I'm like, what? And honestly, like, little did I know that God was going to be speaking to me through the story of Abraham and Sarah so much. And it was in the right timing, because it was exactly what I needed to hear and to read while going through this little obstacle. And if you're familiar with the story of Abraham and Sarah, you know, God promised Abraham that he would have many descendants and that he would have a son, but his wife, Sarah, could not have kids. And, you know, he waited and waited. But during this time, there were several things that happened where they took matters into their own hands. And because of that, some things did not go well for them. And this stopped me in my tracks, because I am somebody that if you give me something like to do, I'm going to pursue it and just be super persistent until I get it done. But the thing is that I often just try to control situations. And so, I don't know, maybe you're like me and going through something right now where you have a dream and God's given you a vision and you're wanting to pursue it. It's not that you shouldn't act in faith, but you should also not try to take control of the situation, because it is when we do that we're basically hijacking God's plan for ourselves. And I know it's hard that we should be waiting on him and his timing. And, you know, lately, the past couple of days and even this morning, I was crying because I was watching a TikTok video, and it really spoke to me. And I really felt the Holy Spirit tell me that it's close, like to not give up hope and to just keep going. And that if you are somebody that has been overlooked and has been passed on, and you feel like, you know, what about me, God? Like, what about me? Why is everybody else doing this and not me? How come I don't get that? How come I'm not like that? Let me just tell you that God has not forgotten you. Let me just tell you that God will use everything that has happened to you, the highs and the lows, every experience, he will use it for good. Romans 8:28. And Romans 8:28 has been a verse that I've just been holding on to during this season. And I just want to encourage you that if you're going through something like me where you're waiting on God, continue to wait. Like, he hears you. Continue to pray to him and talk to him and tell him how you're feeling and your frustrations and your happiness and your joy and your anger, whatever it is. Like, tell him, because he listens and because he's faithful, because he's good. He wants to help you, and his timing is much better, much greater than ours. And I feel like I needed to post this because there is a testimony to this situation.